This is the Alen Air Purifier BreatheSmart 45i, made for large rooms up to 1,600 square feet. When I was looking for an air purifier, I was a bit overwhelmed by how many options there were, and honestly, I wasn't sure if these things actually made a difference. But after using this for a while in my own home, I want to share how it's been going for me, especially for those who might be new to air purifiers or on the fence about buying one. First off, let me talk about how this thing looks and feels, since that's always what hits you first when you take it out of the box. The Alen 45i is tall without being massive, about 25 inches high, 15 inches wide, and just over 8 inches deep. Mine is in white, and it definitely has that modern, simple style that fits with most furniture. I keep it in my living room, and sometimes shift it to our big kitchen space. But I've found it looks decent wherever it goes. The front panel is flat and smooth, pretty low-key, and there's a nice sturdy handle on the back, so it's not a pain to move around. At about 15 pounds, it feels solid, but not so heavy that I can't lift it. I also like that it plugs into a regular outlet, and the cord wraps up on the back neatly, which I wasn't expecting to care about, but it actually makes a difference when you're moving it or tidying up. Up on top, you get a control panel that's all touch buttons, which to me feels pretty easy and modern. There's a clear display with lights that actually change color depending on the air quality. I'll explain that more in a second, but it's a nice visual at a glance. You've got a power button in the center, a button for the ionizer function, another for the lights and a lock, an auto mode, and a filter indicator. The lock button especially has saved me from my kids changing the settings without me noticing. A small touch, but meaningful in real life. Now, experience is what matters most, right? So here's how it's been for me. I've used the Alen 45i for about 3 years now. I've got 2 small kids and 2 dogs who seem to shed constantly and track in every kind of dirt. Our first floor is open and connects the living room and kitchen, so I needed something that could handle a big area. According to the specs, this thing is rated to handle up to 1,600 square feet. And honestly, I think it does a solid job in big open rooms. The way it works is pretty straightforward. Air comes in through the sides, passes through a True HEPA H13 filter, and comes out the back. Filters like this basically trap super small particles. Think things like dust, pollen, pet dander, even microscopic mold spores and viruses as small as 0.1 micron. I didn't really understand microns until recently, but basically, it means it's catching really tiny stuff that's hanging in the air. Not just what you see floating around. The filter status light keeps you posted on when it's time to swap the filter out. When it's green, you're good. Yellow means it's getting close. Red means change it. Kind of takes the guesswork out, which I appreciate. The SmartSensor is a feature I've come to rely on way more than I thought I would. When I turn the machine on, there's an air quality indicator that glows blue, green, orange, red, or purple. Blue means the air is very clean. Green is still good. Orange tells me it's moderate. And once in a while, it hits red or purple if I'm doing a big clean or the kids are running in and out. The machine will actually ramp up the fan automatically if the air quality dips, which means I'm not constantly fiddling with the speed settings myself. I just leave it in auto mode, and it does its thing. For anyone concerned about noise, that was a sticking point for me at first, because I'm pretty sensitive to loud appliances, especially in the living room or at night. The Alen 45i is impressively quiet though, even on the highest setting. At lower speeds, I don't even really notice it's running, especially in the background noise of everyday life. It's kind of a pink noise, which I learned is a softer, deeper background sound that actually helps me and my family sleep better. At full power, yes, it's more noticeable, like a strong white noise, but not harsh or distracting. Let me touch on a few key features that honestly have made this one stand out for me. The True HEPA filter captures 99.99% of particles, and I actually do notice a difference in air quality. I used to wake up stuffy and the dogs would leave our space feeling musty. Now, the air just feels fresher and smells clear out a lot quicker, especially cooking odors or when the dogs come in after being outside. The auto mode is a huge help, so I don't need to keep thinking about what setting to use. The filter reminder is easy to read, and swapping out the filter is simple. You just pop off the front panel, magnetized, but not hard to pull out the old filter, and slide the new one in. Even if you're new to these, it's not intimidating. Another thing I like is the design, like I said before. It's not flashy, but it feels tough and well built. The app control is there for anyone who's into smart features. But I'll be honest, I didn't set it up right away because it wasn't as obvious as I expected. So I just used the manual controls on the machine itself. The color-coded sensor on top just makes it so simple to tell what's going on in the room without needing to check an app anyway. I do have a couple of things that I think could improve from my experience. The app, for example, was a bit confusing to connect the first time. There's not a lot of clear instructions unless you dig into the manual, and not everyone is going to want to go that far just to use an extra feature. Also, while the noise level is low most of the time, if you set the fan to the highest speed, it does start to become more noticeable. Not loud enough to stop me from watching TV, but it could bug someone who is really sensitive to background noise. Another thing is the filters. The standard pure filter works great for particles and allergies, but if you're serious about odor removal, you'll need to go for the more expensive filter option with activated carbon, not the one that comes in the box. In conclusion, from my experience, the Alen Air Purifier BreatheSmart 45i has really become an essential part of my house. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants to make a real difference in air quality, especially if you have allergies, pets, or small kids, or just want your space to feel fresher and cleaner overall. It's perfect for large rooms, works quietly, looks clean and modern, and is actually simple to use even if you've never had an air purifier before. I won't say it's flawless, but the small negatives haven't stopped me from relying on mine every day. If you want to keep your home's air clean and feel the difference yourself, this is one of those purchases I really don't regret. Let me know what you think, or if you have any other tips or questions, drop a comment below. If you found this quick review helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future updates. Thank you for watching.